Well, all-time high, smashing those all-time highs. Market is bull market. Definitely back in the bull market. There's the 8 o'clock scrum. The algorithmic scrum that we always get at 8. AMC making some moves. Let's have a look at AMC. Probably not great range on it. No, it's just the algorithmic scrum. There's nothing. Let's see what else is moving. RVSN start to move back up. Over 270. 270 is the pivot level. I don't know about a great weekend. It was a decent weekend. On this one, 281. Let's back over 280. Yeah, very nice 4-0 as well. Very in difficult conditions. Hey Daryl, how you doing, buddy? How much was I up by the end of 23, Alexander? How I did a 1.45 gross, 1.45 million gross, just over 1.2 million net is where I finished up in 2023. What's the best way to start in the crypto game? Learn how to chart. That's probably the best thing. But this isn't a crypto channel, Johnny. It's stocks and shares, equities. Before you start trading, learn how to read the charts. Learn the fundamental basics. So learn how to do technical analysis, spot areas of support and resistance, or supply and demand zones, as they like to call them nowadays. That's where to start. So download yourself a copy of TradingView and start charting there. It can be crypto, it can be equities, it can be forex. TradingView, you can read pretty much anything on it. But learn how to chart first. So we're just looking for something that's potentially going to break out for us. And once you learn how to chart, you can spot the area. So I've got the area here. It's oh, that's an algorithmic spike. So these algorithmic spikes always happen around 8 o'clock every morning on the exchange. Shut up, dog. Me, I'll be quiet. Morning, Lisa. I'll keep an eye on Rail Vision. Let's go back to no, again, it's algorithmic spikes, so it's throwing out the alerts at the minute. There's all the algorithmic trading going on. So we'll see what happens. No worries, Johnny. Johnny Five's alive. Input. Whatever happened to Steve Gutenberg? He was like the late 80s hottest property in Hollywood, and then he just disappeared. I don't work out your I don't, Alexander. Quite frankly, I'll let my accountant do all that. But as a rule of thumb, what I suggest most people do, just to calculate it in their heads quickly, is across the course of the year, whilst you're actually trading, in terms of overall profits, put a third aside for the tax man. It's never usually, because you can write off your losses, but overall you put a third of your overall gains away for the tax man. There's certain losses that you can write off. There are certain expenses that you can write off. There's various ways of reducing your tax obligations. Also, don't trade in your own account. Trading in not financial advice, just my opinion. Set up a limited company or an LLC and trade in that company as opposed to trading in your own name. And that way, because if you trade in your own name, you're going to get hit with capital gains tax, which tends to be in most jurisdictions. In some, it's not. In some jurisdictions, there is no capital gains tax, so it depends where you're based. The offshore. If you've got an offshore account, it doesn't matter. You're still, depending on where you are. If you're a US citizen and you've got an offshore account, you're still liable to pay tax on anything that you earn that comes into that account because you're still a US citizen. If you're a UK citizen, for example, same thing applies. Just because it's offshore, if you're living and still based in the UK, you'll still have to pay tax. However, if you set up an offshore LLC and you trade in that limited company, and you trade in that company instead of in your personal name, then it helps with your tax liabilities. And also in the event that you have a bad run and blow up the account, if you owe the broker money, you don't hold the broker. They can't come after you individually, because what they'll do is come after the company and you just dissolve the company and go bankrupt with the company. It doesn't affect you. So yeah, if you're a UK citizen, Alexander, then if you have an offshore bank account, like for example, if you set up you go and open a bank account in the Isle of Man, which is a tax haven, if you're still living, if you're trading in your own name and you're living in the UK, you still pay tax, whether it's being paid into the Isle of Man account or not. You're still liable to pay tax because you're based in the UK. It's based on your tax jurisdiction. Excuse me. However, if you set up an Isle of Man based LLC or limited company, and you can do that with just yourself as a director and an accountant or whatever, you can set up your Isle of Man or Guernsey based company, trade in the company, which is an offshore company, and then you get the tax breaks. Police Academy, absolutely, Alistair. He was in the first 4 police academies. I don't think he did the Moscow mission to Moscow one, but he was in the first 4 police academies, and then he did Cocoon, and then he just disappeared. I don't remember him doing anything. I think he did there was a thriller. Oh, 3 Men and a Baby, 3 Men and a Little Lady, those ones as well. So that would have been early 90s, but then he just disappeared. Cheers, 7G. Yeah, let's make sure that that we keep the like count up. If you're watching on TikTok, give your phone screen or something. So the S&P 500 or the market as a whole is up today, breaking all-time highs again. And I called it on Friday as we pulled back just before the open on Friday. I called it on Friday. We broke all-time highs pre-market, and then we pulled back coming into the open. And I said, look, it's going to bounce and it will break all-time highs, and it did. So we went on to all-time highs, and we gapped up over the weekend, and we're at all-time highs again. Well, you see this little blue line here? This is the all-time high on the S&P 500. So, NASDAQ, again, all-time, NASDAQ 100 all-time highs. This little blue line on the NASDAQ 100 is the all-time highs. The Dow Jones Industrial Average. Let's have a quick look. Where are we with that one? Yeah, previous all-time high was here at 369. We're now at $10 above on the DIA, which is the Spider Dow Jones. It's a similar situation to the SPY. It's an ETF that tracks the market. In this particular case, tracking the Dow Jones Industrial Average, and that's up $10 from the previous all-time high from last 2022. So we're breaking highs across the market. Where do you see the market going in the next 12 months? Well, barring any mishaps, the market long term, the market only ever goes in one direction. It goes up. You have pullbacks, you have bear market periods. On average, a bear market lasts between 9 and 14 months, depending. But the average bull market lasts for 3 years. So we came out of a bear market in October 2022. It lasted 10 months. We had a 10-month bear market in 2022. And then we've been on upwards trajectory ever since, but we've been bullish ever since. Normally you'll have a bit of a range market that goes sideways for a bit in between the transition. We went from bear market to bull market very, very quickly. And a lot of people didn't actually see that. But if you look at the SPY on the daily, this is the daily chart. Let's pop this. So we go back to October. Let's see, does this go back all the way to October 2022? It does. So this is the bottom of the bear market here. Okay, and we went straight back into a bull market channel, and it's been in that bull market channel. We broke out of it briefly in October, and then this rally, kind of Santa Claus, well, end of year rally, and we're still in that, breaking all-time highs. So yeah, this is a very bullish chart right now. I'm just going to move this up to that. Okay, so this is a very bullish looking chart. Since October 22, we've just done nothing but, I mean, obviously you get pullbacks, but in the long term, it's upwards, and that's all the S&P 500 does. That's all the market does, is it goes upwards in the long term. Which is why a lot of financial institutions will say, if you're looking for a long-term investment plan, just stick money in index-linked ETFs. It's very simple and it's almost guaranteed. Not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just saying a lot of financial advisors will advise you to do that. Now, for me personally, a good option is I'm not doing it now because I'm you know, I'm in my 50s now. So, but if you're in your 20s, the TQQQ is a great ETF to look for. So it's linked to the NASDAQ 100, but it's leveraged 3 times. So on average, the NASDAQ 100 is giving between 10 and 14% annually, annual returns, which is better than the S&P 500. Now, if you are going to be every month lump sum averaging in, so you've got $200 a month spare, then stick it into the TQQQ for 10 years and then just let it sit until you retire. And whatever, if you want to retire early, fine. If you want to let it run until you're 60, 65, fine. But if you stick that in, $200 from the age of about 20 to 30 or 25 to 35, 10 years, you should invest $200 a month in the TQQQ or the equivalent with pro rata. You won't have to invest anymore after 10 years. You just let it sit and accumulate and compound, and you'll have enough to retire on by the time you are 60, 65, no problem. Hey Alberto. What's this doing? Cytomet Bioscience, second biggest mover on the day now. Yeah, so I mean, you go for if you're doing that long term, something like an Interactive Brokers, or you go for a Charles Schwab, or you know, these big brokers that have been around a long time. But Interactive is probably the easiest to do. But Schwab, was my first brokerage account. Cytomet Biosciences announced top-line results from phase 2 Fascinate-2 clinical trial of denifanstat in biopsy confirmed F2, F3 NASH. So it's clinical trials. Top-line results from phase 2 clinical trials. Cytomet Bioscience. This can go in the watch list. Spreads are a bit wide, talking 25-30 cents on the spreads, but it's and the ATR is very similar, 25 cents on the 1 minute ATR. So that's Cytomet for you. What software am I using to trade with? It's called Dash Trader Pro. If you go into my profile, there's a link there, the link tree. It's got all the information you need there, Alexander. It's got the platform, the brokerages that I recommend. It's got the journaling platform that I use and recommend. Everything's in, all the links are in the link tree in my profile. So check that out. The scanners that I'm using, which are directly behind me, these scanners, those are Benzinga scanners, and you can try that free for 14 days. Yeah, so the volume's not great on Cytomet. It's a decent move, nice catalyst, but there's no volume on it. We've got one candle above above 25,000 so far. So I'm a little reticent to be interested in that until it's got good volume. Another low volume stock, moving to the upside. There's no volume on it. Mega Matrix Corp. Also can taste his garlic. very low priced stock here. 8 Core Holdings, or Octo is the ticker, 68 cents currently. It's 50% up on the day, and it's got a bit of volume, it's got a bit of activity. So I just saw this having multiple day high series, and I thought I'd take a quick look. It's not what I trade. I won't trade below $2, but if you like these low price stocks, fill your boots. You do you, boo-boo. A big week for earnings this week. Big week for earnings. Not a huge week, huge day today. I mean, there's still some decent names today, but the big names start tomorrow. So we've got Netflix tomorrow, for example. So that's after hours. Invesco before the market kicks in. Texas Instruments is tomorrow as well. We've got what else have we got tomorrow in terms of big names? Wednesday we have First Bank. We have Tesla, probably the biggest name on Wednesday, and then a really big day on Thursday as well. So Union Pacific, Comcast, Provident, yeah. So you've we're very much back into earnings season. Might actually trade Tesla on Wednesday after hours. We shall see. Come on, guys, get that like count up. Let's get to 50 likes. Hit that, smash that thumbs up button. Let's get to 50 likes before the market opens. So we've got a little over an hour before the market opens, so there's plenty of time for it. Sagimet moving up. The volumes are picking up now, so maybe over 850 if it's looking bullish, could be interesting. But we'll see. I'm not. It's bouncing, kind of bouncing nicely on the 9. I might wait for a bit of a pullback, a bit of a dip, and then entry there. And RVSN sideways, going nowhere at the moment. Coherus underneath the VWAP, so not really interested in that either. Bullfrog, no volume, just about over the VWAP right now. So we can see Spirit Airlines is at the VWAP, that $7 area that it was on a lot on Friday. Yeah, you can set alerts for it. So when you're on your so in Benzinga, I'll show you. It's probably the easiest way to do it. I'll just show you. Where am I? where's my bits and pieces here? So let's just go to the laptop, shall we? What I've got here. Okay, so no, so it's actually a good question there, Mr. Bitchin. So I don't know if you can see this, but or you should be able to. This is how I've got Benzinga set up. I've got my movers, which is my gap scanner, my surging scanner, my surging stocks, and then my momentum scanner. And then you've got the signal. So if you want to get an audible or an alert when stocks start spiking, if you want to do it on specific stocks, then you need to put notifications on. But you've got notifications here on signals. So you can actually do this now. So you can actually put notifications on, you put this play a sound through speakers when a new signal arrives, synthesize voice, whatever you want to do. You put it on there, notifications, and you'll when a signal comes through. I don't particularly think that's a good idea, because unless you've got filters on, because you get so many signals coming through that it'll be. Alternatively, you can just go to where it says Squawk up at the top, open Audio Squawk News, and that will give you, overall, it'll give you the Benzinga Squawk News as things are happening. So, yeah. I hope that helps. Hey, Ian. Sagimet's starting to make some highs now, so we're getting slow move. Oh, remember, we'll take a position if it pulls back to the 9 or breaks now. I'll get in for 9. Oh, I might have got in actually right on 9. I have days 970, by the way. So Sagiment Bioscience does have a good, decent catalyst. It's phase 2 trials. No worries, Mr. Bitchin. There we go. We're over $9 now. Once again. And get over 925. I'm going to add to this position. Spreads are okay, actually. 30 cents on the average true range on the 1 minute ATR. And spreads are kind of whipping between 5 and 10 cents. Looking now for 930. 28 cents on the ATR for 1 minute should give us 930 at least. $9.70 is the current high of day. Currently at just over $9, so looking for this to move back up. Good entry would have been 860. A good entry here would have been about 860. I was busy waffling about other things. I missed that completely. Take half that off. And tap that. I'll take it off there. I was going to say, if we can tap that 970, the high of day, I'm just going to take it off there and lock in 1,600 bucks. There's a new high. Well, that's the 970 is the high of day. I figured we've got that's previous resistance, so we'll see what does it get over that before we get in for another entry. Let it pull back, possibly even to the where we took profit first, 930. Just gone on, made a new high. 980 is the new high of day. Got volatility, I'll give it that much. $0.10. Spreads as much as 10 cents, 5 to 10 cents on the spread. So factor in the higher part of that. Factor in 10 cents on the spreads when you're calculating your risk. Actually, I just saw 17 cents then, so factor in 15. The spreads are getting a bit wider. Over 10, I'll scale back in. High of day 990. Looking bullish. There's 993. There's 10. Just add in there. And we get 1050. And we get 1050. 1040, 1050. Take half off. Because nobody ever goes broke taking profits. Just remember that. Nothing wrong with taking profits. Nothing wrong with taking profits as you go. Adding back, looking to test 11, and we get 11. There's 11. Take a half back off again. We'll start scaling out. Can let this ride. $11 is now my stop on this. I've only got 1,000 shares left. Lewis, the markets are looking very bullish today. 1,000 shares left. I need 50 bucks to get me to gold. I've got 1,200 unrealized. Get out there. A little bit of a devil horns that may fill, but we'll see. Okay, so yeah, well, it's we've just brought all-time highs on both the NASDAQ 100 and the S&P 500 this morning again. Broke them on Friday, but we've gapped up. And the SPY, whilst it's slightly below the VWAP right now, having a bit of a pullback, it's kind of sideways, but it's an all-time high kind of day today, so very bullish. Yeah, you can't, when you get a whole dollar move, you can't fault it, can you, Alistair? It's fantastic. I take it you're over gold now then, buddy. That's just taking me over gold, so I can relax now. Well done. You love to see it. If you can get 10 to 20 cents on any entry, if you get between 10 and 20 cents, and that's your initial first target, then that's great. Now my initial target was that 15 cents, and then I added the position on the way up. So time for a cup of tea. I'll have a cup of water. The increasing volume for one, Lisa. So the increasing volume, the generic color on the time and sales, and it just looks strong. So that's when I said, okay, well, I was looking for an entry spot, and then I got in for a break of $9. It broke $9. I got in for I got filled at $9, but I got in for the break of $9, the whole dollar. Quarter, half, and whole dollars are psychological levels. So very often you'll see me getting in on the break of a psychological level, or on the break of a confirmed, a previously confirmed resistance level. Now we've got a confirmed resistance level at 1170. I mean, the high is 1171, but it's 1170. It's a $0.75 level, 1175. We just broke that. Now, getting in there, we may get some resistance at 12. Just take that off. Scalp that. Quick scalp. Back in. And we get 1250. $12.47, $12.49. Total. There you go. Can we get $13? 13 on the nose. Can we get 13? There's 13. There's $13. Take some off. And let it ride. 12.50 is now my exit. Either that or the first candle to make a new low. If we keep moving up. And 12.50's there. So that's when we'll get it. Nice, a 9K day. Well, I can say with confidence that we're now out of drawdown. And we're at highs on the year. Cheers, Mike. Just starting. We're at a gross gain up until now for January so far was 39K prior to today. Granted, that wasn't the high of January. We previous high was. Oh no, it is. It was the high. So we actually covered the drawdown on Friday. So 39K is the is our high. So we've just added another 9 to that as it stands right now. That takes us to 48. Not bad off a 10K start on week before last. Thanks, Lisa. Is that today there, Mike? Did you caught this nice move here? I'm waiting for a pullback to $12. Nice healthy pullback to $12 or a retest of 13. Spreads are a bit rangy now, a bit 20 cents. So yeah, the spreads are getting a bit whippy. They're up to 20 cents now. So factor that into your risk. But the ATR is 65 cents. So you need to factor that in as well. Ah, right, okay. Well, 3K a month's not bad there, Mike. We've still got another two weeks left. Oh, a week and a bit. Week and a half. let it consolidate. Like I say, if it pulls back to the 9, which is about $12, look for a bounce on the whole dollar. ULY, not interested. Green Spark, yeah, I'm not interested in that right now. So top mover right now is Sagimet, what we're watching. There is an IPO scheduled for today, but I don't know if it's going to go live or get pushed. Monday's IPOs tend to get pushed in most cases. What are my thoughts on Google and AMD? But AMD, absolutely, I like AMD. They tend to follow Nvidia, but in general follow the market. Google, absolutely, AI is the play, and Google are about to drop their S24 range as well. So whilst they got bumped in terms of top smartphone sellers, this last that was Samsung. Google is their AI, and they're going into the Samsung S24. That's what I wanted to say. Samsung are about to drop their S24 range, and it's going to have Google AI embedded in it. So yeah, AI is the play at the moment. 5-minute devil horns right there at the moment. So I'm not getting in this unless it makes a new higher day. But yeah, Google, good play. Earnings, I think it's next week. I'm not sure if I think it might be next week. But yeah, new here. Any tips or tricks? Yes, stick around and smash that thumbs up button. There's the best tip and trick for you, and if you do, we can get to 50 likes, and I might start doing kind of little micro lessons right here on this channel while I'm live, in terms of how to read the chart and what patterns to look for, how to trade certain patterns, etc., etc. So, for example, here, Lisa asked, what gave me the confidence to get in at $9? Okay, and this is where my entry was here. So we had this move up, and we got a couple of spikes here that missed that. So we had this move up. The new high there would have been 860. A good entry would have been 860. So it's a new swing high. I missed that, so as it moved up and went up to just I think 895 or something, and then it pulled all the way back. As it made a new high, that's when I got in for the break of the whole dollar, $9. It did pull back, but then carried on. So as it moved up, and I called it 920, I added to the position, and then it started to move up. A lovely little flag there. Started to take some profits up here. And let me just zoom in and zoom out, and then taking profits as you go basically is just a way of getting some numbers on the board and giving you confidence to be a bit more aggressive later on. So I got in here, and then as it moved up, I got out. It started to stall a bit, so I got out. It did pull back a little bit and then made a new high, so I got back in. And then I added to the position, took some profits on the way. A very, very strong move up, pull back to the 9, bounce and move up again. It started to wane a little bit up at the top, so that's why I've got out there. And I'm just waiting for it to pull back down here towards the 9 EMA or the $12, which is where we are right now, and see, does it bounce, and do we get a new move back up, or do we pull back further to the 20? So if you're not familiar with technical analysis on candlestick charts, that's where I would suggest you start. Is there's a few videos that in my profile that you can actually pick up on in terms of the basics. How to trade, you know, double tops and double bottoms, how to trade cup and handle, how to trade the, you know, head and shoulders and inverse head and shoulders. There's also a couple of videos on TikTok about which are the most successful patterns in terms of probability wise for momentum breakouts. So we broke below the 9, we broke below the whole $1.12. Just consolidating right now. On the 5 minutes, it's a decent flag formation, so it doesn't mean it's done. But what we're looking for now is on the 5 minute chart, we're looking for a new high on the 5 minute, which currently would be $13. We need to go back and retest $13 as it stands right now. Nice little flag formation. It's a parallel channel on the 2 minute, on the 1 minute, on the 2 minute. Downwards channel. Typically these break upwards. Well, you're looking for the bullish patterns. You're looking for the bullish setups. So you're looking for, you know, key levels of where you expect it to break out. You watch for the volume. So I got in here. We saw that the volume started coming in. We're getting an increase in volume from the previous few candles. We're getting increased volume, which is why it, you know, gives me confidence to come in. You watch the time and sales, the color on the time and sale. You don't have to watch the actual prices that are going through. Watch the colors on the time and sale. You've got 3 colors. You've got green, red, and white. And if the predominant color is green, or if it's probably 60% green and white, with very little red, then you know it's going to be moving up. So look at the time and sales. What are the predominant colors? If it's green and white or predominantly green, you've a better chance of it moving up. I'll take a look at that for you right now, so I can just pull you to pieces if it's a lot of crap. Yeah, it's a load of crap. Lamb Research. So LRCX, there's nobody trading it. 8,000 shares have been traded today. So from a day trade, read the title of the channel. It's Day Trade with Tony. We're looking for a day trade. There's 2 things you're looking for when you're day trading. It's volume and volatility. Now, if there's no volume, you're not going to get any reliable breakouts. The spreads are going to be wide because there's no liquidity. Right now on Lamb Research, it's an expensive stock, but there's no volume on it, nobody trading it. Because it's an expensive stock, there's no liquidity on it, and that's why the spreads are there. So LRCX for a day trade, no, it's a lot of crap. But thanks for your input, FR. As I say, volume and volatility. Those are the 2 key characteristics you're looking for in a day trade. Volume basically is you want a higher relative volume from what it normally trades. And if you're getting higher relative volume, that usually adds to the volatility of the stock, but you want higher volume, because that way you're going to get, if there's more people trading it and watching it than normally it would do. So for example, Sadimet, which is what I'm looking at right now, normally trades on any given day over the last 3 months, it would trade about 150,000 shares daily. It's already done 3.5 million. So it's a huge high relative volume. With that, we're getting really good volatility with it. Now, the volatility provides the range that you're going to get. So it's going to move up big, it's going to move down big. Good measure of volatility is the average true range. So on the 1 minute chart right now, I've got a 45% ATR, average true range, which is a good measure of volatility. And what you're looking for is that volatility is going to give you a range that you can, a higher range that you can trade and make profits with. Now, of course, you want to be looking at the liquidity of the stock as well. Is there a lot of people trading it? What are the spreads like? If it's very low volume and the spreads are extremely wide, it suggests that there's very poor liquidity on the stock, which is likely to mean that it's going to be a higher risk play. We've seen a lot of stocks move big on very low volume and liquidity, but the risk is just too much to get in and try and trade it, certainly with any kind of decent size. I love it when people come on the channel and pop any kind of ticker in that they've heard, that they've seen on Wall Street Bets, thinking that they know stuff, and making a fool of themselves when I pull it to pieces. So Boeing is up. It's not great volume, but Boeing's up. It's down on the day, but it's moving up. Is what I should be saying. Boeing's moving in an upwards direction after a bit of a sell-off first thing. The markets are up and looking good. Already had all-time highs this morning. Pulling back towards the where the VWAP is right now doesn't scare me at all. I think we might get new all-time highs when the market opens, so we'll see. In fact, as soon as the market opens, we'll get official all-time highs. Doesn't matter because we're gapping up. So, on Friday's day high was 482.72. So we're on the SPY. So we're gapping up from that. Hey Trader 83, how you doing? Sagimet moving again. Let's see. Do we get over 13? Key level $13. Whole level current high 13.20. Spreads are currently 15 cents. Hey Daryl. And the reason that Sagimet's moving is clinical trials. Positive phase 2 clinical trials. Depends on the prop firm there. Tempted to buy Netflix before earnings, but why not just do a trade options on that, Puno? And set yourself a little strangle. Buy a call just below the current price, just outside the money, or just above the current price outside the money, and a put just below it, because you know it's going to be volatile. You know it's going to go one way or the other, and then if once you've got past break even, it's all profit. You can hold on to the So, for example, if it sells off, you can hold on to the call, providing that you've got past that, and when you cash in, just do a little strangle on this. For me, I think doing a little strangle or a straddle pre-earnings and have your contracts like 2 weeks out or more is probably the best way to trade earnings. If you're not comfortable trading after hours, or if your broker doesn't allow you to trade the actual stock after hours, then just because, regardless of which, worst case scenarios, it doesn't move at all and you're out slightly, and then you can just wait for movement over the next couple of days just to break even and get out for a break even or a nominal loss. But trading options over earnings is probably, for me, the safest way of making money from earnings season. All right, okay, so you can't trade, you're not able to trade options, no? But yeah, Daryl, if you've got a reputable prop firm, there's not many that do trade that do equities. Most prop firms are either futures or forex, and to be fair, most prop firms are a waste of space. They do give you these challenges that no. Actually, where's Alistair? Alistair 2. Has he got a free one with the competition I ran there last month? I'm gonna get 1350 this time. Got a nice cushion on this, so I can hold it till the 9. $13.40 is the high. I'll reject it up there, and it's looking a little bit ominous on the I don't like shooting stars. Wake up, it's shooting stars. Wake up, whoever you are. Thoughts on Rumble? Well, I've traded them on earnings. Rumble. So I've been on Rumble for a while, so this is for Stanford on Rumble. I've been on Rumble for a while, and all I'm getting is solicitation and people trying to get me to pay for them to social mediaize my Rumble channel. And quite frankly, I've got more people on TikTok and YouTube than there probably is on Rumble. Rumble's not a very popular platform, so until it becomes more mainstream, it's probably going to lose money before it starts making money. It's billed as a competitor to YouTube, but it's nowhere near. That's just my thoughts on Rumble, having been a user of it now for a couple of years. Yeah, well, fantastic. That's fantastic news. That MJ. You love to see it when you've got green across the board on your long-term holdings. It really is fantastic. Nvidia was over 600 bucks today, which is my largest position. Nearly 300, no, 285k profit on Nvidia. So that's fantastic. What's Disney at right now? 93. Where's yeah. So PepsiCo's my only long-term loss at the moment. Oh, actually, no, Procter as well. Procter's got earnings this week, Procter & Gamble, so hopefully that will turn things around. If Procter & Gamble sells off on earnings this week, I'm going to buy more. That's my take on it. If we move back up, we can get back over $13. I think we'll move on to a new high. I don't like that shooting star though on the 5. Between the spreads right now, guys. Keep going. Don't get rejected at the whole dollar. 13.98 on the ask. Like that move. High day. There we go. We're back up. We just what we lost, we've just recovered. No, the shooting star. An inverse hammer's got a block on it. A shooting star is just like it's like a doji with a long upwick. The hammer's got the it's got the hammer head on it. That's exactly what I did, Daryl. That's exactly what I did. No, Bruno, the killers were you holding bags. You know very well. It's I wouldn't say it's too extended right now. I mean, it was a nice if you look at it on the 5 minute there, it's a lovely bull flag on the 5 minute and the breakout for the move up. I think we've still got a bit to go, but we've got just under 20 minutes. We've got 18 minutes till the market opens, so it is it's getting a bit stretched, a bit exhausted up here, so I'm expecting a little bit of a consolidation, if you will. A lovely 5 minute bull flag. It's probably safer to trade this on a 5 minute chart now than the 1 minute, just because of the huge range and the spreads are a bit whippy. So if you trade it on a 5 minute, you'll not get the as big of you'll not get as much of the move, but it'll be more reliable for you. The higher time frames tend to be more reliable when you're talking about momentum pattern breakouts. What's my share size? It depends, Justin. So the maximum I've had on this one is 5,000 shares. So I've been going in with lots of 2,500. I've been getting filled fairly easily. I've not had much. There was only that last exit where I almost didn't get filled. But the rest have been. It's a fairly liquid. Well, it's very liquid this morning. So we're talking like 5.5 million shares traded, which it normally trades 150,000. It's traded 5.5 million. So it's very liquid this morning. Volume is on that upwick. I'm sorry, on this uptick here. We had a lovely spike in volume. The pullback is less. So just look for the increase in volume. Like I say, watch the time and sales. It's a good indicator. Watch the generic color of the time and sales. You're never going to get like, well, you actually, in some cases, you can get 100% green or red or whatever. But in a lot of cases, it's kind of green and white, or with a little bit of smuttering of red, or majority green with white, with smuttering of white. Let's see. Oh, we're getting a bit of a pullback. It's still within structure. Like you see, it's been pretty much the bottom end following the 9 EMA. It's not broke below the 20. So whilst the here was nice, but whilst the 9 and the 20 kind of getting a little bit closer, I would say watch for the 20, watch for the whole dollar here. So watch for the 20 as support. That you can use the 20 EMA right now as your stop loss or whatever position you're taking, because if it breaks below that, that's kind of a new thing. It's not the whole time since it made its initial move, it's not been below the 20. It was just bouncing nicely on the 9, but the 20 is like, 9's a good entry, and then 20 is your stop loss. Just saying. I missed that breakout. It's not Pokemon. You don't got to catch them all. No, you're not far off there, Mike. Because of the influx of volume, you kind of, it depends on where the volume's coming from, bullish or bearish. So you're better off just letting the first couple of candles form after the open, and unless you're actually in the trade already, let the first couple of candles form, or if it breaks a key level like a pre-market high level or a pre-market low level. But if you're talking about moving averages and things like that, the VWAP counts, but moving averages at the open, you just got to give it a while for it to catch up with the increased volume. Currently through 13.97, it's tapped it a couple of times. So it's just under $14. The key level, psychological level as well, is the whole dollar here, $14. See how it's been adhering pretty much to the 9. When it did pull down, it pulled to the 20. So when you've got that, taking a dip buy at the 9 with a stop at the 20 is not a bad. Very often that can be a bit of a, when something's going, almost parabolic, that can be a really good strategy to have. You buy the dip at the 9 and then stop loss at 20. You take profit wherever you set your take profit. Right now, pull back to the 9, take a position at the 9, and then you've got to take profit at higher day. Why am I not doing that? Meh. What about 1370 instead of 14 as you take profit? Well, that's up to you. I mean, it's if you're just looking for 10 cents, then fine. But when you've got something that's got a 10 cent spread, or as much as 20 cents on the spread, getting in at what's the current 13.45, getting out at 13.70. You're not going to make much when you've got spreads of 10 cents. But yeah, I mean, take a little bit off. If you get it at 13.60, for example, take a little bit off at 10 cents, take a little bit off at 13.70. That's fine. Oh, that's a nice little pot. Oh, that's terrible, Phil. Wasn't quick enough. That's all right. Added to the position. Could get $15 on this. 473 for between the spreads. Well, let's get $15 on this. $14.80. That is the new high. Well, $14.79. We'll take. Looking to test 15. Oh, I wouldn't short it yet. Give us that $15. You know you wanna. New high of day. No, I'm just gonna get out there. Take an extra $300, why not? $15 dead. There's the current high of day. We've got 7 minutes to the open, guys. You see how this move up, pull back to the 9, pop. Move up, pull back to the 20, pop. And buying the 9 would have been a really good strat. Sorry, Vols, I know you're not here, but buying the 9 with the 20 as your stop would have been a really good strategy on this one today. Probably might be a bit of latency on the stream, Daryl. Got lit on the stream. Might be a little bit of latency on my because I'm going through a VPN as well, so that might be why I got such a poor fill. Let's see if it works. $0.20 spreads. Fantastic, Alistair. Yeah, and the S&P's been up at all-time highs a couple of times today. Just lock that in. Just scalping right now. We're up at 11k on the day. Just scalp. Why am I only scalping? Why am I not letting it ride? But I'm too close to the open. I have a feeling this is going to drop at the open. I could be wrong. It might take off and do a huge gap and go, but I have a feeling this is going to drop at the open. Maybe even a dip and then rip. But we'll see. You got over $1 earlier. You got $1.50 there. Happy days, buddy. I think you owe me a pint. Or a nice bottle of wine. So we've got, this is the top mover on the day. It's the top momentum stock right now. I'm going to change the scanners over. We've got 2.5 minutes before. I know I don't need to, but I'm going to change the scanners over to the regular session. So if, there we go. They'll just come in like a little bit later. You might be waiting for a while with that one, Mike. $12. Where the VWAP is, pull all the way back to the VWAP. Yeah, I see your logic. I see your logic. Two minutes. I'm just going to wait for the open now. If this breaks over 15.50, let it. Get green, stay green, get to goal and get out. That's been my motto for years. It's my motto. It's not what I actually do it very often, but yeah. So get to goal and get out. Right now, before the market opens, the last thing you want to be doing is trying to hit a gap and goal that is more of a gap and crap. So wait for the confirmation and don't. It is very volatile. So it's nice and liquid, so there's no problem getting filled. Over 7 million shares traded already in terms of volume, but just be careful of the range that it's got. It's a huge range, and at 45 cents on the 1 minute ATR, spreads at 20 cents. So at the open, you want to be putting at least a 70-cent risk on it. So if you're going to be going in with 1,000 shares, for example, you're risking $700. Going in with 100 shares, you're risking $70. Just for education. Absolutely, Daryl. There's the bell. Yeah. Bullfrog. Wow, Bullfrog's just BFRG. At the open, Bullfrog just made a massive move up to test $6. DWAC, the same stuff. DWAC. Nice little move up. Back to Sagimet. Now we're looking for a new high of day. Thought it might pull back at least to the 20. 30-cent trailing stop, which is way too tight, but it's a scalp. There we go. We're over 12k, which is 2x gold. I know my initial entry was $9, so I was only 10 cents ahead of you there, Alistair. Trailing stops are great like that when it's volatile. Yeah, I don't like that upward go. Well, I might just lock the montage and lock in my 2x day. The volume bar changes colour if it's going red to green, Daryl. So the volume bar is either red or it's green. It depends on which way it is. So if it's going below the open, it'll be red. If it's going above the open, the open of the candle, that is, it'll be green. Yeah, 12k days not to be sneezed at, to be fair. So we've got an hour's. I'll wait to see if we get any smooth, clean moves now. Our DWAC is actually smashing highs. It's a $3 move. $3 move since the open. DWAC. Spreads aren't too bad either. They're about 20-25 cents. DWAC, it's a bit extended just to get in there right now. Wait for a pullback. That's a good. Look, 30 cents. It's 30 cents. That's a good. Good gain. You can get 30 cents every day, Robin. You're laughing. So DWAC, the stock of the moment. I did say that the S&P 500 would make new highs on the day, and all-time highs on the S&P 500. Look at that. We broke the all-time high from the pre-market and new all-time highs on the S&P 500. Smashing it. What a wonderful, you love to see it. You love to see it. And just check out NVIDIA. Oh, you love to see. Why is NVIDIA important? Well, that's my biggest long-term holding. It's about 50% of my entire portfolio, and if it keeps going like this, it's going to be more. So yeah, NVIDIA, you love to see it. We'll put 602. That's it. DWAC pulling back a little. Is it a good time to buy now? Is it a good time? Is it a good time to buy now? I think your question is it a good time to buy? Buy what? Be a bit more specific. For example, you don't want to be buying Bullfrog at the halt level. The Bullfrog AI is just 650 is the resumption, so it looks like a 10-cent gap up right now, but we'll see. This halted at 9.35. We'll have a look at that at 9.40. I've not seen too many volatility halts today, to be fair. Yeah, I'm watching that on the other screen. So if that pulls all the way back and then starts to bounce, I'll look at it on the 5-minute. Like I said earlier, it's probably better to trade that on the 5-minute chart now, and watch for a new 5-minute candle high. Bullfrog, we'll come back to that in a second, but going back to what I'm saying here on Sagimet. So Sagimet now, new high of day. So on a 5-minute candle, new high of day until we get a new high. So high of this 5-minute candle currently is 14.16. So I'll wait for this candle to form. I'll close out because I don't think we'll get a new high of day in the next 2.5 minutes. But I would wait for the higher time frames. Even if you look at it on a 2-minute time frame, so I've got the 2-minute open over here. So if you look at it on a 2-minute time frame, 14.40 will be the next time to go bullish. Bit more risky, but you might get more of a move if it does. Apple breaking highs. If you like the coffee table names, Apple breaking highs. Amazon pulling back. Amazon selling at the open. Disney. Oh, we love to see it. We love to see it. Nvidia back under 600. Come on, back. You need to hold 600. S&P 500 did pull back a little bit, so it's kind of markets. A lot of those are moving with the market. DWSC looking to move back up. Maybe $15. Terrible. Well, I've got a 30-cent trailing stop in place. It looks like it's going to halt. It's at the halt level. It's not halted. There you go. There's the halt. We'll nip across to, and it looks like it's going to gap up at over $16. Have a look at Bullfrog for a resumption. So this should resume in about a minute's time. Well, we'll just talk through. I didn't get a particularly good fill. I tried to get in for the break at $15, and I didn't get a particularly good fill, but then it filled me just as it brought the pre-market high. This blue line here, the blue dotted line is the pre-market high. So I was okay with that, and then it moved up into the halt, and I just put a 30-cent trailing stop in place. That's way too tight, but just in case it decides to gap down, right now it's looking like gapping up to $20. I can't see it. It looks like it's probably going to be a 10-minute halt. There's a lot of volatility on the imbalance. So the imbalance is, while it's halted, you've got orders, and I'm thinking that if this gaps up to $20, I'll be extremely happy, but I don't think it will. It'll probably come back down to around 1620, 1630, I would imagine. But we'll see in 5 minutes. Let's go back to Bullfrog. It's just resumed. You're in the halt as well, cod killers. Don't get cocky. It could still gap down. It's currently just under $18 on the resumption price. $14.99 is a good entry. Break of $15. That's what I was looking for. It's a $15, but good man. Bullfrog pulling all the way back. Not a big gap up, to be fair. It opened at 646, so anything over $16, I'll be happy with it. But $18 is, it looks like it's going to resume at about $18 right now. $17.50, anywhere between $17 and $18. Over $16, over a new high of day, I'm stoked with. I'll be very happy with. Got a 30-cent trailing stop in place, and $17.88 on the $17. So it's coming back down. It's probably going to be around $16.50, $16.30, something like that. $17.24 now on the resumption. So still a lot of movement on the resumption price. So that's just why I feel like this is going to be a 10-minute halt instead of a 5. But either way, it looks like it's gapping up right now, and that's good news as far as I'm concerned. If it's gapping up over $1, happy days. Right, we've got about 40 seconds for the resumption. Bullfrog back up at highs. Come back to this in a second. Bullfrog back up at highs after the pullback on the resumption. So very close to halt levels. If this is a 5-minute halt, I think it's going to be a 10. But if this is a 5-minute halt, it should resume in about 10 seconds. Any time now. Yes, I said it was going to be a 10-minute halt. I was right. 16:30 on the resumption now, so that's what I called before, about 16:30 resumption. That's probably where it's going to be. So we'll come back in 5 minutes. Let's have a look at Bullfrog. Spreads on Bullfrog, 10 cents, 30 cents on the ATR, 40 cents. Nice VWAP bounce there. Beautiful VWAP bounce, or bounce on the 9, whichever you want to call it, on Bullfrog. Pull back, buy the VWAP. Use the 20 as your stop. Buy the 9, all the VWAP's pretty much synonymous. And use the 20 as your stop loss. Okay, now I'm getting a bit nervous. So we've got a $16 resumption right now. Keeps pulling back. We might end up gapping down. Just 16:08. We've got 3 minutes before that resumption. Let's go back to Bullfrog. Testing new highs. Good stuff, Jay. That's if you're learning, make sure you've hit the thumbs up button, Jay. By the way, if you're learning, that's all that matters. nice. I enjoy sharing what I've picked up. I'm no guru, but if I can make money, anybody can. That's all I'm saying about it. No, it's all right. Todd, it's still gapping up, and that's all that matters. As long as it's over $16, as long as it resumes over $16, got a 30-cent stop in place. So if it resumes over 16, I'll make at least 20 cents on it. Even with slippage, I should make at least 20 cents on it, and that's okay with me. I'm already over goal. Bullfrog double topped up there. Devil horns. Just be careful. If you're in bullfrog, take some profits. Reduce your exposure. That's a clear. These devil horns, clear reversal indicator. And it's prevalent upon multiple time frames, the 1, 2, and the 5. Bullfrog? Yeah, bullfrog can go higher. Which one are you talking about, Daryl? Bullfrog or Sediment? Sediment definitely could go higher. It's already been higher, so it's the current high of day is 1609. It's now 1640, around 1640, 1650 as a resumption. So that's okay. A dollar gap up, that's fantastic. The biggest gap that I've had resumption is $3, and I was heavy. I was stacked in that as well, so it made my day. I mean, it was a massive trade for me. Was that? It's a safe trade, as far as I'm concerned. Should resume in about 35 seconds. So I'll just stay on this channel now. Spirit Airlines is moving up. It's at $7 now. I'll stay here, see when I get stopped out, and then look for a potential entry if it's bullish and continues to move up. Nice if it gaps up and moves straight up into another volatility halt to the upside. And we're moving up now. Actually, we're coming up to the resumption level, and we're at 1680. There you go. I got stopped out just below $17. Happy days. I'm not going in for another halt. Hope you enjoyed that one, Cod Killers. Did you get stopped out? Are you still in it, Cod? Are you still in it? I'm not saying I'm the best. I'm the best live trader on this channel, but on this platform. But I've got to be top 3. I've got to be top 3. So I started today with a just shy of 40,000, well, just over 40,000, $40,707. I started was my equity position today. So I've made 15k off that. What's that? 37% ish. Cod Killer's good man. Good man. Love to see it. I love seeing when other people are making profits the same way as I am. This is the small account, Matt. I started with 10k on January. When was it started? January what? January the 8th. No. Yeah, January the 8th was when I started. Last week was Martin Luther King Day, so it was only 4 days last week. But yeah, January the 8th, I started with 10k. Had a big day straight away. The first two, I had 4k on so it was like 40% gain on my first day, which I was like, wow. And then I had a 21k day on the Tuesday. So yeah, I'm having a good January, a bit like I did last year. And as it stands right now, I'm over 50k off a 10k start in 2 weeks. 2 weeks of trading. Well, look, if you've still got a piece in it, it's going to gap up to over $19, $19.30. This is only going to be a 5-minute halt, I think, this time round. But yeah, I mean, that first week of trading in January, so the 8th through the 12th. Then I had a couple of red days after Martin Luther King Day, and a couple of solid days, not quite over gold, but solid days at the end of last week, a 4,700 and a 5,400, call it. It's a fiver between friends on Thursday and Friday. So to have a nice big day, I think I might just lock this in there. It's even nicer for you, Cod. It's a nice trade for me, but it was even nicer for you. We'll come back to that in a second. Let's have a look at Bullfrog. It did pull back. 680. 680 before I would push that again. I mean, to be fair though, it is holding the 9. So buying the 9 with the 20 as your stop loss, a 20-cent stop loss, are you going to get 20? Well, that would be the ask. I'd say go for a 1-for-1 on this. Buying it at 660, out at 640 or 680. But you wanted to test the new high of day, realistically. Buying the 9. I started the week with 10k, yeah, absolutely, Matt. I figured a little less stress. I'll take it easy for the first quarter, first 3 months, and I'll start each month with 10k. So January 10k, February 10k, March 10k. I didn't think I would be, like 2 weeks in, I didn't think I'd be over 50k already. But I took February a couple of years ago, I took a 5k account to over 70k across the month. So it can be done. It's not typical. It's not typical, but it can be done. Sajimet resumed. Get stopped out yet, Cods? That was a 50-cent stop loss, by the way. It's $1 on the ATR, so it's pulling back now. I hope you got out. I hope you got out, Cobb. Good man. Good man. Nice trade. Lock it in. Walk away now. Don't give it back. And this is probably going to halt to the downside. What's the halt level? 1736 is the halt level to the downside. That's a great trade, Cod. Chuffed for you. Absolutely stoked for you. The spreads are like 20 cents now. But 25 cents on the spreads. I only went in with 1,000 shares last time. If it moves up and can scale in, that's fine. But if it moves down, I don't want to be giving all my gains back. 17.19 is the halt level to the downside now. Funnily enough, the 9 EMA is at 17.30. And we'll probably, if it comes back down there, probably about 17.10. Well, I'm thirsty. This chattering to you lot needs a thirsty work. It only takes one stock. It only takes one stock to go parabolic like Sagimet today. And that's all you need. $17.02 the halt level now. So it's got to get down to $17 to halt. I'm looking for a curl back up maybe. 18.50. Seems to be finding a little bit of support around 17.50. No. All the way down to 9. Ooh, close. 17.02 is the halt level. It tapped it briefly. So here, this is back over the VWAP. 17.30 on Spirit Airlines. Could well be there, Daryl. Could well be, but it is still the top surging stock, the top momentum stock on the day. In terms of movement, CXAI is a lower price stock, but that's coming up on its coattails. Much lower volume. 13 million shares traded on Sagimet today. Normally does 150,000. I mean, go figure. Huge relative volume. Brother, having a bit of a move. Low volume. Bullfrog's got nice volume still. It's pulling back. Spirit Airlines. Yeah. Good, decent volume. Real Vision looks to be making an inverse head and shoulders. Shoulder, head, shoulder 2. Where's the neckline here? 220. Anybody disagree that the neckline is 220 on Real Vision? Not too bad, Stone Cold. Not too bad. Not yet, at least. Let's see what we can get out of this, if anything. Risking 20 cents, so I'll just put a 20 cent trailing stop. Why did I get in this? Because of the inverse head and shoulders. It's got about an 82% success rate of breaking up. So I just put a trailing stop in place. It was about 20 cents was the shoulder width. New high of day. We've got the VWAP there. So yeah, I'll just put the trailing stop in place. Worst case scenario is I'm losing 10 cents now. Well, yeah, 11 cents plus slippage. A long way from the pre-market highs. Pre-market high of 328. A whole dollar off. It's all subjective anyway, Stone Cold. All subjective. This is still 65% up on the day, by the way. So, just putting that out there. Called this out in the Discord when it made its initial pop. Went from like $1.38 all the way up to $3.28. Right, I've just changed it for a 10-cent trailing stop just because now it gives me that I'm profitable. It's a profitable trade. Absolutely, Cal. That's a nice Monday, nice way to start the week, isn't it, brother? There we go. Oh, that's terrible slippage. That's terrible slippage. I lost 75 bucks on that. Maybe I should have left it down here at 20 cents. That got to be 9. Yeah, still be in it. still green on the ticker. I think every day in 2024 is going to be better than last year, Cal. I'm being a bit more conservative with my trading. I probably won't have the days like last year. You know, I had two of them actually, 100k plus days. I don't think I'm going to have that again this year because I'm being a bit more conservative. But I don't think I'm going to have the volume or certainly the size of red days that I did last year, just because I'm being a bit more conservative. Tesla breaking highs. Tesla got earnings later this week, by the way, guys. Boeing breaking highs, looking very strong. Bullfrog looks done for the day. Might bounce a little bit, but it looks like it's tapped out. DWAC, on the other hand, curling back up. DWAC, Digital World Acquisition Corp, Donald Trump's guys, the grifter himself. Well, practice. Scale up gradually there to 83. As long as you're profitable, the only difference between me and you is sizing. If you're consistently profitable, if you grow your account gradually, you can then start taking gradually bigger and bigger sizing that you're comfortable with. If you find yourself getting nervous in a trade, it's probably because you're trading too large, either for your comfort level or for your account. And then if you're in that situation, just scale back. No, it looks like EAT has been, Triple E technology is going to be, looks to me like it's going to be pushed. Spirit Airlines kind of got rejected at just above, horrible doji, just above the pre-market high. So it brought the pre-market high and then a swift rejection. So let's get rid of these lines here that were from Friday. Let's look at Sagimet. Yeah, it's finding a bit of $16 support there, which was the first rejection at the open. So it's come back and filled this little gap between the opening range high Palantir. 6 cents on the ATR on the 1 minute. Look, Palantir is one of those. It's always thickly traded. It's large flow, a lot of institutional ownership. So Palantir, you might look for a swing. Is it going to move with the market? It's not a bad stock to swing. It's not a bad stock to trade with options, swing trade with options either, because you can usually get good prices on it. So Palantir, would I day trade it? Probably not. Even though it's moved up, it's not. I look for stocks. Typically, I look for stocks that are moving up, kind of 15% or more, 14-15% or upwards, and have that momentum with that. 8%. Yeah, if it's showing good momentum, good volatility, then yeah. But it's just 6.5 cents on the 1 minute ATR, so I probably wouldn't trade it. Doesn't mean that you can't trade it profitably. Just me personally. DWAC breaking new highs. Bullfrog curling up and testing the VWAP as well. EWSC. Oof. $0.30 spreads. Looking at Bullfrog, if it gets over 640, you might have some more movement. Right, okay, so Spirit Airlines, yeah, Spirit Airlines have got a joint appeal in with JetBlue for a merger. Yesterday, over the weekend, they said Chapter 11 bankruptcy could be a better option to than trying to save the airline. This is Bullfrog. Bullfrog AI. No worries, Solar. No worries. That's the beautiful thing about trading. You do it when you feel up to it. If your headspace isn't right, look after that. That's the whole thing about trading. It's up to you. No, absolutely not, Daryl. Trading on holiday, the whole point of taking a holiday is to chillax and, chill out, relax and unwind. To be fair though, I mean, I've moved to the Philippines, so it's like a permanent holiday here. It really is beautiful. Weather's great. Although the island I'm on is volcanic, so all the beaches are black volcanic sand, but sandy beaches all the same. It's a bit like Tenerife, Alistair. It's got 30 cents. Let's stop. Right, 5 cents down on the ask. And falling. thought we were gonna get at least 680. Back to 5 cents down on the ask, 11 on the bid. Yeah, it's done that before many times as well. Puno DWAC. It's a volatile when it's motoring, it can really motor. Between the spreads. All right, smack dab between the spreads right now. Are we going to break out and test those highs? That's what I'm looking for here. Yeah, I lost 5 cents. Well, I didn't. No, got a lot of slippage. I lost 15 cents on that. So, not great. But take my profit instead of moving my stop. Should just take my profit. Exactly, Solar. That's exactly right. So if you get in for a breakout of one pattern, but you get faked out, so you get you know, when you hit your stop loss, it then turns around and moves and creates either another. Amount of times I've done a double bottom, and then it's turned into head and shoulders, or it's turned into, you know, something else, and you get back in. In fact, my last trade of 2023 was exactly that. I got in for a double bottom and the breakout, and then it was like, oh, hang on a minute, this is pulling back, and then it started to curl back up, and it created an inverse head and shoulders. So I got in for the neckline and added at the neckline, and it went up and got me from a big heavy red day into a over gold green day. So yeah, if your first pattern doesn't, when you get stopped out, you don't even have to get stopped out, but if your first pattern doesn't break out and then it starts to create a different pattern which is also bullish, that's actually increasingly bullish, because what you've done is you've got one pattern that was bullish that didn't break out, then it follows with another pattern that is bullish and then breaks out. Anya. Naya Therapeutics. TNYA. Just getting some volume this last 5 minutes. I'm just going to have a quick look. Is there a news drop happened here? Nothing specific, no company specific news. It's higher relative volume, 2x the relative volume. I'm not seeing any company specific news for the pot. So Rumble breaking highs today. I was just talking about it earlier as well. Someone asked me on the old Rumble what I thought about it. As a platform, it doesn't compete with YouTube at all. I'm not seeing the competition. YouTube's far ahead. There's another inverse head and shoulders potentially. $0.75. No, 680. I was thinking 675, but yeah, 680. Or I might just buy the 9. If it pulls to the 9, might buy it with a tight stop at 650. Oh, there's my entry. That did. The VWAP as my stop. Below the VWAP, and I will get out. For a bounce on. I was looking for a bounce on the 20, but by the time I got filled, it was already at the VWAP. So look for a VWAP bounce. The market sell order ready to go. Yeah, probably 680 solar. Probably 680 would have been a better option in hindsight. But look, hindsight is 20/20 vision when you're talking about trading, isn't it? Scuba is fantastic for scuba, Daryl. It's one of the best best locations in the world for scuba diving, or even just snorkeling and free diving. The marine biodiversity here is phenomenal, and just off the island where I am, there's a marine preserve, a turtle sanctuary. So yeah, it's for diving, it's one of the best places on the planet. The amount of islands in the archipelago of the Philippines, the amount of islands there are, if I spent a day on every island, it would take me like 50 years to cover them all. Get out of that. Good stuff, Puno. When was the last time you went? Hey Cameron, it's what you want. I need 170 bucks to get a 2x day, but I think I'm just gonna knock it on the head as a 2x day. I was a 2.5. I was 15k up, but I've given it back, so I'm kind of getting to the point where I'm outstaying my welcome. So, when the market gives you a nice day, you take it. So it's a long time between dives there, Puno. That really is. You must miss it. Spirit Airlines might be a better option. Breaks the pre-market high, which is 761. I'll have a little tinkle. That makes sense. You don't want to be aggravating that. Stick to the snorkeling, surface swimming. GDC. No, not got the volume. $0.07, probably not volatile enough. Look at GCT, no volume on that either. Yeah, absolutely, Double T, absolutely. Still head and shoulders pattern. There we go. Let's give it a whirl. Looking for a new high of the day. Currently 694. So looking at 695. Half off. 690. And cent trailing stop there. It's a profitable trade now. Nope, stop me out. Well, made some of it back. I'm 1300 behind. Oh no, 900 behind. The bounce on the whole dollar. $0.15 spreads, don't like those. If we can't get 720 this time. Take the bid with you. in the spreads. Yeah. Back to where we were. So, well, we made a little bit on it. So we're back over 12k. So that'll do me. I'm going to shut it down there, and I'll stick around in the Discord for a little while. So if you're in the Discord, if you're in the Day Trade with Tony community, if you're either as a student or as a member on YouTube, I'll be in the Discord for another half an hour or so. Might not be trading. I think I'm just going to lock my montage there at the 2x day. It's been a good solid day today. The 12k is not a bad day's work. So I'll be back at it tomorrow. It's the first day of the week. It's nice to get a nice green. You know, for those of you regular viewers here, regular visitors, you know that Mondays are usually my bad day. So it's nice to get a green start to the week, and a good green start at that. So we'll be back at it tomorrow, 8 o'clock, first thing in the morning. And we'll do it all again. So take it easy, guys, and I shall see you tomorrow. Take care. And that one.